Take one. Howdy y'all, Dean Santilli here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead music news with a special guest on these reviews, my pal Ray Charles, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Charles. Oteil Burbridge, my good buddy here with me. We had the most amazing weekend, a benefit for the Tree of Life that exists to provide job training and employment for adults with autism and other developmental disabilities. And what a great weekend of music and, you know, filled with a mission of helping folks. And that's what it's all about. I can't thank you enough for being such a huge part of it.
My pleasure.
This has been an amazing spring. So we're going to run down the shows. This was hot stuff. These might have been the best shows ever.
Oh, it's when you're at them, then they're always the best.
That's right. That's why I can't review your stuff and I have a hard time reviewing my own shows because it's like your kids. Like if people ask if your kids are good looking, like nobody's gonna say I got an ugly child. They're the most beautiful things in the world to us. So when you have your own show, it's your baby, and you kind of look on it like that, you're favorable to it. And you're my brother, so you can't do any wrong by me. But we'll see if we can find something in these lists as we review the songs. Started out here. It's been 90 degrees in New Jersey the whole week before Oteil got here. It's going to be 90 degrees the week after he leaves. I look at the forecast. It's 50, a high of 50 for both days that Florida Oteil is with us.
I just got back from the Bahamas.
Played a private event in the Bahamas, so the temperature swing was dramatic. It was like tempo swings between J-Rad and Wolf Brothers.
I had to repack right before I got here. I was warned. They said, it's going to be the coldest Memorial Day in history.
In history. So what I did strategically is Oteil's wing of the house, I put all the tropical pictures we had from the different rooms in his wing of the house because I thought if he saw tropical pictures, I might be able to mentally make him feel warmer. I'm not so sure that worked, but we tried. Let's get started with the review. Saturday night is here at the Santilli Amphitheater. We're at my house, an amazing natural venue, akin to Red Rocks, right?
Have they seen the totem pole out there?
The Tree of Life is something else. It faces Terrapin. That's where the compass always points. It really incredible job. I put LSD in the bird feeder, and the woodpeckers did this incredible thing on the tree. It's amazing what happens when you give woodpeckers acid. It's really props to the artist Walter Sanzone. He's fantastic here from the great state of New Jersey. Did a great job with that totem out there. So we get the thing started here at the Santilli Amphitheater on Saturday night with Butter Biscuit. I just love it. That's like calisthenics before a race.
That's like the song you do not want to start with when it's really cold. I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know. Somehow we got away with it.
Well, it must have been some kind of knucklehead that made the set list. I'm just kidding, it was a genius. This set list was a thing of genius. It was a masterpiece. This was the Mona Lisa of set lists over these 2 nights. So
I was glad you did, not me.
So after that, we get Shakedown, and really we started having a lot of fun. And this party was hopping. People were happy. We were dancing. The music sounded great. You guys are right in there. I love Tom Guarna. It's such an incredible human being. He got that crew cut, looks like Officer O'Malley. And then he melts your face, man. He melts you. He's getting better all the time. He's outstanding. Killed it during Shakedown. Cats Under the Stars next. Had a little visit from Kieran, from Chris. Those brothers are.
Those guys are great.
It's a great band, right? Kieran and Ethan joined in on a bunch of these tunes and really added. So Ethan, a fantastic saxophone player. Kieran, so those guys had an audition with some big time artists, and I think they passed with flying colors this weekend. Mission in the Rain was up next. It was the perfect song. I was going to make that the opener, and somehow it found the number 4 spot, but it was the Mission in the Rain. A beautiful job there. That always one of my Garcia band favorites. He did a fine job on that.
Did the Dead ever do Mission?
The Dead didn't do Mission, I don't believe. That's a Garcia band song, and always one of my favorites. One of the, Garcia band, his sets didn't vary a whole lot, but Mission was on the rare side. You didn't get that as much as a lot of the others. Just a great song, and for me to be sitting there, and some folks would be happy to have one dream come true, and I've had several. I'm very fortunate in this life to have several dreams.
I had some dreams that weren't even mine come true.
There's nothing like that. Sometimes when you sow good seed, blessings stick to you. You get things happen in your life you never. This is an example of it. Sitting here doing this right now is an example of just going through.
I keep thinking I must have been doing something good while I was doing all that bad, because somehow some stuff sprouted up. So I must have been sowing some good.
Thank God for grace. Your heart was probably always in the right place. Sometimes our head just takes us in the wrong direction. It's easy
all at once.
Next up, we get Mr. Charlie. That's a hoedown. Now, people are going to tear up my yard on this song. That one makes you want to dance hard. The tempo is just right. And we're high stepping it there. Some people on the lawn, on my deck there. That was a good time. We get High Time. Outstanding. Love that one. I remember when you were first practicing. I was looking at these old clips I have on my phone, and when you were working some of this stuff out in the early days in Dead & Company, you'd send me little clips of sound checks when you guys were working on China Doll and High Time, and I went through them the other day. It's hard to believe they're like 4, 5, 6 years old. Some of that stuff's like starting to.
Time is flying.
It really is age a little bit. The High Time was beautiful. It reminded me of doing all this shit, and you think, hey, put on a show. It'll be fun, they say. I'm having a hard time living a good life.
Yeah, man.
It's not always as easy.
At least it ain't killing you.
It's not always as easy as people think. Next up, they love each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy about that song, Circa 73. The tempo on that one is such a fun
that
tune.
You turned me on to. Thank you.
It's that one, a great choice. So happy to hear it. And then you end the set with Deal. The Deal was off the hook. This is really when everybody...
That one got liftoff somehow. You just never know. Like all of a sudden it's just like whoop. And
that one's got there's a lot of rocket fuel within the kind of tank that holds that song. So at any time if a spark hits it, we're off.
That spark definitely hit Tom.
That one was off. I think I was doing jumping jacks and shit. I looked like Suzanne Summersdore in her aerobics videos in the 80s.
I can't even look at you. Like I have to make sure like I don't catch Dean when it's like really rocking like that, because it's like you turn into Richard Simmons. Doing the robot. I was just like,
I'm sweating with the oldies. I'm popping and locking.
It's so great, man.
It's unadulterated joy is what we experience, and that's the power of music, the healing power of music. All the stress that goes into putting on events, and then when the music takes off, it just takes that weight right off you. Right off you.
David danced before the ark right out of his clothes.
That's it. See that? That's some dancing. Deadheads can identify with that.
Right.
We can identify with that. Dancing right out of your clothes. We all got more than a couple stories like that. I'm going to save that for another episode. During intermission, we eat all this wonderful shit we had here at the house. We got to give props to Dan Dalton.
Oh, man.
Dan Dalton cooked us a meal. Unbelievable. 5-course tasting menu.
And
Sarah, unbelievable. His sous chef, Sarah, here, such a sweetheart. They tore up my kitchen, made us some delicious food. Thank you guys so much for coming. We love you forever. So, the second set gets started. We got Kieran and Ethan up there again. We get start out with a China Rider. Little King Solomon tease in between China and Rider, a masterful piece. You'd think a genius was making the set list. The King Solomon wouldn't appear in full until later in the weekend, but that China Rider was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It picked up where Deal left off. It was like immediate ascent. And that was followed by Believe It or Not, that I thought was outstanding. That's one that I said, I remember we talked and I said, Garcia had this tune to be great on you. People always want you to sing Brent songs.
They keep asking me about Brent.
I'm like, Oteil's not that angry. Like, he's not that
I can't sing that high. The notes he can hit in natural voice are so high, and it starts up there and stays up there, and then it goes higher sometimes. I'm just like, I wish I could.
It's not to
I
mention,
wish I could.
you're not the kind of dude gonna sing, this song's my last fucking song for you, bitch. Like, you're not gonna sing that shit, man. That just doesn't fit you.
If I have to, as someone else who's very angry.
You'd have to go into character hard.
Character, right?
It's definitely not your natural being, that's for sure.
No.
Next up, we get Eyes. Eyes, incredible. You put a saxophone player on Eyes, that really ups the ante on the whole experience. And Ethan was great. That's another one that might set the whole crowd into orbit. There was some moments.
Guarna did something in there. He turned the solo section is all major chords, and he turned them all into minors. And so we played the whole, and then when the sax, it was really, I'd never done that before. That was really cool.
It was
but
amazing.
You can play the same thing over the top of it.
Whoa.
It was, the soloist doesn't have to change anything, or anybody else. You just, that was...
That's musical geniuses. I don't know shit about that. I know how to listen to it good, but
that's an unusual one. Like, I want to go back and hear that one myself.
After you explained it to me, I felt like I had to revisit it. I look forward to that. So next up was Stella Blue. That was a tender moment. You're great on Stella Blue. It's much better than Weir for sure. I'm not going to create trouble here, am I? I'm just kidding, Bob. I love you forever. Stella Blue, outstanding on that one. And then Love Light to close the set. That's another one. That's funky. That Love Light's got a different take on it, a little different style than the ones we used to hear with the Dead. But boy, you guys tore Love Light up.
We probably did it pretty fast. And that's just, you need Love Light right now. Just the time we're living in. It's like, man, with the music coming back, it's funny how songs mean so much more to me now than they did before.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds corny, but...
It's one of those things that in order for so many things in life to have so much deeper meaning, sometimes we got to carry these same things through some different climates, emotional climates and architecture, and they add so much to everything. All of these songs, this whole songbook is so relevant to so many different generational changes in our lives and things we go through now with kids, like the different challenges as the kids grow up, different ages, and the songbook seems to mean more and more with every day that passes. It's unbelievable.
You can't sidestep seasons, man. Like, you may not like winter, but you're just gonna have to go through it. I mean, I moved to Florida, but you still gotta go through
an emotional winter. There's an emotional winter for sure.
It's all for a reason. So I mean, it does make you appreciate spring a lot more after it's been freezing.
It's gonna be spring sooner or later here in New Jersey. As soon as you get on the plane, 80 degrees tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm headed back to Florida, dude.
80 degrees tomorrow. Guaranteed. He almost lost his boots in transit. We encore with the Golden Road. The Golden Road to Unlimited Devotion. Best encore ever. That one, to end the night with that one. That song's got so much potential to just... We were tearing it up. That one, I might have taken some paint off my deck dancing through that one. You guys killed that. That tune lends itself to a world of good things happening.
It's just a good rocker, man. Like, if you can do it at the up like that, where it's just a super spirited, lively version of it, it's great. I mean, it's hard to mess up, It's just fun.
You guys did an outstanding job on that. So then we get through it. The forecast for Sunday is menacing. A menacing forecast. Thank God we got the whole staff and crew of Garcia's over here. We got Nate on sound. Josh Cohen did an amazing job managing a lot of moving parts, and Claire, and we had so many people here helping. Unbelievable. Peter and all these folks from the Cap and Garcia's, they came out and helped throughout our whole spring series. We've had a show every weekend since the first weekend of April. We've only had a couple off, so they've been a huge help with doing everything. And here we are. The call goes into Shapiro. The forecast looks menacing. Peter Shapiro, enormous thanks to you. He opens up Garcia's for us, so we're able to open up Garcia's for the first time in almost a year and a half, I guess. And what an amazing gesture by Pete to keep the music going, to make sure you were comfortable. His staff was at home. It was so emotional. It was more than just a show there. It was reopening live music at Garcia's and stuff like. And Pete, he's owns a lot of venues. This has been a tough year if you own music venues and stuff. And he's just a giver. He continues to give, and that's why he gets. We love you so much, Peter. Thank you so much for opening up Garcia's, and we had a blast there. Here now we're inside. We got a little inside gig. We're all in there.
Toes are warm. The fingers.
Everybody's warm. My opener. Here comes sunshine. Here comes sunshine on the open. I absolutely love you on that tune, and that was fun. That was just. Here Comes Sunshine. That was kind of like my Native American sun dance that I kind of figured if we were here, I was going to try to summons the sun to come out using that song. In essence, a lot of the elements that we would have wanted with the sun were right there at Garcia's. It was warm. We were dry. It did rain all day, so it was a great call moving that gig. Here Comes Sunshine, the opener, into Scarlet Fire. This is a great way to kick off a Sunday show. So next up, Sugary paced like the Wolf Brothers in parts. I really, that one, at first I said, this is slow, this is Oteil, he's playing like Wolf Brothers. The solos came, bam, we were out of town.
Funny? I was so worried, because I'm not sure of my tempos anymore, and so I was thinking, well, don't do it too slow, and then I would count it off too fast and have to back it down.
It started like that. It started a little bit fast, and then you kind of backed it up a little bit. It was funny.
I'm just like off,
And sometimes when music's moving forward, sometimes it's hard to get it to slow down. Sometimes when it's moving too slow, it's hard to pick it up.
Well, fortunately, with Johnny Kimmock, you can. I said, man, I started it too fast, and he just went. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Johnny Kimmock, I absolutely love. What a beautiful human being, great guy. I hope
he was playing,
to see a lot of him in the future. He's outstanding. I absolutely love him. And as a human, he's a rock solid human. The trio is really, that's the best thing about this trio, really, is the personalities that make it up are just really salt of the earth, folks. I look forward to seeing Peter in the future too. I'm sure he's the same kind of character, the same kind of. I've seen Crazy Fingers a lot on my trips down to Florida, so I've been listening to him.
Talk about a set list making genius, man. He could just like, oh, that can segue to that because that key ends on that, and boom, and just like. I'm like, how about? Do you want to make the set list?
It's easier for let someone else do it. I can say from experience.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
It takes more thought than I initially would imagine. So next after that, we get To Lay Me Down. To Lay Me Down, such a beautiful moment. Everybody and their brother wants to come and fucking talk to me during To Lay Me Down, and I had to ask 5 people, please save your questions for later. Everybody wanted to talk to me during that song. This is not the right time to talk. And To Lay Me Down is playing. You shut the fuck up.
Put your STF unit cap on.
I needed it. I needed it. I got my official, I got my nobody cap. And so everybody, if you can't tell who I am, now you can. My name's on my hat, Nobody. To Lay Me Down was amazing. Run for the Roses, a lot of fun. Another JGB classic there. The Brown Eyed Women, unbelievable. That one we had some fun doing. That was a hoedown. And we closed the set with Touch of Grey. Touch of Grey was funny because before the show, looking at all the songs and the things that you guys were going through changes and things you should be mindful of while you're playing these songs. And Touch was one of those ones like, that's the easy one we got now. I don't think you guys wiped out on that. There was a bike that went into the ditch on that one.
Was that one where it accidentally started the wrong song?
I think
or was that a different song?
It could have been. I don't know. We were all very happy and everything was extremely enhanced. But when we got to the surviving parts, that's what counts in that tune, right? You can mess up the whole thing up to there, but when it's time to survive, make the proclamation, I will survive. We will survive. It's all going to survive. Everything there was just exactly perfect. That room was so full of love, man. You were driving it.
There was some sunshine in there for sure.
You were driving it so hard. So you make so many people so happy. It's unbelievable. It's really, I watch you walk through a crowd and people, they just get happier when you go by. And it's the energy you have in life. So I hope that happens. I hope that lasts for you throughout your life with your children, because mine used to be like that when they're little. Because I don't know so much anymore.
Anyway. Mine are like that most of the time, and then they withhold it sometimes.
We have a nice set break. We were having fun during set break. We were back there laughing, joking, telling a million different stories. As Mike Fenoy comes in, your podcast partner. Great to see Mike.
It was. I haven't seen him in jeez.
He comes in. He's just an orb of beautiful light. He really is just his manner, his way about him. You just feel better in his presence. He's that kind of cat.
And he's super funny.
Love you forever, Mike.
Yeah.
You the man. So we get the second set started. We get Help, Slip, Liz Reed, Franklin's. Bam! That's how you get a second set started. That was fun.
That was a fun one.
It really...
Every friggin' part of it along the way.
I mean, Liz Reed was off the hook. Everything that is mentioned in Help on the Way is just so relevant to the experience. It's well on the way now. We've kicked it off. Live music is back in a big way. There's big tours planned, and really Help is on the way for everybody across the country. Thank God. Let me ask you something. After Help, Frank, did you guys play China Doll?
No, you know,
I don't think you did.
That's the song that we started. I started Terrapin, and Tom started China Doll. He was correct. Somehow on this, I didn't put it on my on the iPad set list when the tunes
that's
go
fun.
by.
I thought so, because when that was done, I'm like, I didn't put Terrapin right up against Help, so I didn't even know what I put. It's funny, if you make the set list, you forget what it is.
And somehow I missed it, you know?
It was going to be China Doll. We missed China Doll. Shit like that happens. We went into Terrapin with some of the Sweet on there. That was a great time. Really, everybody was extremely emotional. Some rise, some fall, some climb. There we were, right there at Garcia's. We got to Terrapin. We made it there. You were driving the ship of love. That was an exceptional experience.
I love that
into
song.
A lot of the Sweet that everybody was fantastic on. King Solomon's Marbles up next. That's a great one to add to the repertoire.
Yeah, that's a good jam.
That one is reserved for people that know what the fuck they're doing. It's, none of the less expensive Grateful Dead bands are going to cover that one. That one's tough. You need
It kicks my ass every time.
You need musical know-how for that. That's for sure. King Solomon's Marbles, Morning Dew. The Dew, absolutely love you on the Dew. This is another one that we've talked about for quite some time. And
we listened to one in the driveway right before we went to bed.
That was the coolest thing, when I'm with my pal here and we're just listening to old stuff that I love. We were talking about that delicate part, that Garcia was just masterful on the delicate part at the end. That last solo that leads to the crescendo where he's fanning the strings. But the delicate part in that was just the room would be quiet. And that part was so delicate. And Garcia had 20,000 people right there in the palm of his hand.
He stays there, and it's like he's actually, for quite a while, playing really, really fast.
And low. Low. Most people don't play fast and low. They got to play loud when they play fast.
You can barely hear it.
Unbelievable.
He's flying. I was like, wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
Unbelievable. So we listened to, in my driveway here when we got home, we listened to the Warlocks, from the Warlocks, that do, and that was just a fun experience. As over the years, listening to different pieces of Dead stuff I love with you in different locations. I remember 10/27/91, I'm like, listen to Phil on this transition China Rider. 10/27/91, we were in front of the hotel when you played Citi Field, in front of the Mandarin, and we're listening to that in my car, and I'm like, I'm sitting here listening to this with Oteil. This is a special moment. This is not nearly as special for you as me, but very special.
No, they are. I've had some of the most special moments with different fans that know different things that turn me on. Like, me and Pete Lavazzola will just drive around Fort Lauderdale, and he'll be like, oh, check this part out, Phil, here. Check what Jerry does here. And it's like endless homework you never get tired of. because you always learn something else. You know, I love it.
It's a Grateful Dead sonically is like Bible reading. Like if you keep doing it, you'll catch all kinds of new shit. You just got to keep at it. It's full of golden nuggets. You just gotta keep looking, and they're in there. You'll find them where you looked before and didn't see them. There's no doubt about
and
that.
They'll be in a different place the next time.
It's unbelievable, right? It's musically, it's just magic. There's Grateful Dead music is like David Blaine and magic. The Encore. I've been wanting this one for Oteil for a while. Joy to the World. It was supposed to be a double encore. We were supposed to get Doing That Rag.
That's right.
and Joy to the World. So I see the whole crew get up there, Claire and Kieran and Nathan. This is great. They're going to do Joy to the World. And I'm thinking, I hope they didn't forget Doing That Rag. And Joy to the World was fun, right? That's a good idea for an encore. I mean, that was a great encore. Joy to the world. Joy to all of us. We need more joy out there. And then I was thinking, we get Doing That. At that point, Shapiro shows up. He showed up during the do. So Pete Shapiro shows up during the do. Great to hug him. Great to have him there. Great to see him show up. Really a beautiful time. We forgot, Doing That Rag got forgotten. So that was, it was going to be a double encore with Doing That Rag. We were partying hard all weekend. We left that one out. That one in China Dollar hanging out on my tree somewhere.
We'll take it. We'll make sure. Let's start out with them next time.
It's next time we'll just get right to Doing That Rag China Doll. Next show, better be there for the next show. That shit'll be good. So wrapping up the weekend, what an amazing time we had. With the artists, with the staff. It ran so smooth. We were able to raise money for adults with autism and developmental disabilities and just have a great time and fellowship together. So many familiar faces and good friends and good folks in an amazing environment. I can't thank you enough for being the centerpiece of the musical part of that. And that was just beyond anything I could have expected in advance. So
reopening Garcia's because of the rain.
Unbelievable, right? So everything happens right. I've always said, man setbacks are God's setups. So when it seems like the ways of man are setting you back, the good Lord might be setting you up. Don't get dismayed or let your heart be troubled. There's a plan. And if we just, with a pure heart, walk forward in the mission, we end up having incredible things happen along the way.
We end up in the rain. And then in Garcia's.
Bam! It had to happen. We had to have the rain to have the Garcias. It's absolutely beautiful what this weekend has meant to me, and to spend some time with you. A lot of times you come, I don't even see you. I'm working around here and doing shit.
You're running around enjoying the glitz and the glamour.
I'm vacuuming and mopping shit up and getting people extension cords.
Finding heaters,
renting residential heaters to point at Oteil on stage.
Oh man!
Oh, have mercy!
We did it though.
We beat the elements. It was a great weekend of music and a wonderful time of fellowship to really kick off a new season of people gathering to take in the Heal, Empower, live music. And I think a lot of people were touched and healed and made closer to whole this weekend. And so thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being a guest on this. You want to add anything?
Happy birthday to Rob.
Happy birthday to Rob. Celebrated my partner Rob's birthday on Saturday. Rob, love you forever. He does an amazing job doing these things, getting these things together. He's a huge part of it, really steering the pirate ship of musical goodness through some stormy seas sometimes. But I love you and you do a great job with it. So my partner Rob Rossman. Amazing weekend. I hate thanking people because ultimately you're going to forget some folks. You all meant so much. Everybody that was here was a huge part of the experience. So we'll be catching you soon. There's more to come. So we love you long time. Until next time, see ya.